Dinamo! 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 What's up, Rich Squad? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich. But before I get into this video, I like to give a shout out to all the bad blue boys out there, man. Your support is so instrumental in the success of the team. Believe that. Believe that. If both teams had this type of support, you know, loud fans always cheering on their players, they would do a lot better. But welcome back to the channel, man. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button and click the little bell to become part of the notification squad. Match day 2 of the 2018-19 UEFA Europa League, and I'm bringing you some Group D action between Anderlecht and Dinamo Zagreb. As you guys should know, match day 1, Dinamo defeated Fenerbahce 4-1, while Spartak Trnava defeated Anderlecht. I can't really remember that scoreline right now, but anyways, I like to give you a little Europa League roundup at the end of this, you know, when I'm done with talking about the Anderlecht versus Dinamo game, because I don't really want to do a separate video talking about all the other 23 Europa League fixtures, because it's way too much. Way too much. I did it last week and I'm not going to do that to myself again. But let's talk about the Anderlecht versus Dinamo fixture. You know, Anderlecht coming off a loss. They could have done with a more favorable result than a 2-0 loss at home. So that's 2 losses in 2 for Anderlecht, and that's 2 wins in 2 for Dinamo, who are now on top of the group table, 6 points. Second place, we have Fenerbahce, who lost last week, you know, in a 4-1, loss, coming back really well this week with a 2-0 victory over Spartak Trnava. The coach just switched up his lineup and it proved to be the impetus, you know. 2-0. We have guys like Andre Ayew coming into the team, and of course Islam Slimani, the scorer of both goals to sink the Slovakian team. But, you know, let's talk about the Anderlecht versus Dinamo. In this game, Bjelica played a similar lineup to the one he played versus Fenerbahce, with the exception of Ademi coming back for Šunjić, and up top Petkovic for Gravanovic. He chose to play a 4-1-4-1 formation as usual. We had Dominik Livakovic in the goal, and for the centre-back pairing we have Teofil Catherine and Deliver. Left back we had Rakrami, and right back Stojanovic. Central defensive midfielder, the captain Arian Ademi, recovering from his injury, and in the middle of the field, young Dani Olmo and Ame Goyak. Up top, Bruno Petkovic. Over on the right-hand side, you know, right wing we had Izet Hajdovic, and over on the left-hand side we have Mislav Orsic to complete the 11. Mario Gavanovic was on the bench. Also, we had Ivan Šunjić on the bench as well. Let's make a note that 2 Croatians were in the Anderlecht 11. Antonio Milic, current national team player and former Hajduk split man. And of course, current national team striker Ivan Santini, the former Zadar and Inter Zapršić player. The game started out quite routinely, but it was Dinamo who would break the deadlock in the 19th minute when young Bruno Petkovic was brought down from behind by the defender Vranjes. For that terrible foul, he received a yellow card and a penalty was awarded to Dinamo Zagreb. Izet Hajdovic, the Bosnian, stepped up to convert the penalty to make it 1-0 for Dinamo. Dinamo were able to negate the threat of the Anderlecht attackers, and the game went into the halftime break 1-0 in favor of the away team. Early in the second half, Vranjes picked up a second yellow and was sent off, and that spelled disaster for the home team. Dino Peric also came on for the injured Deliver. I wish Deliver a speedy recovery. Hope he's back in action pretty soon and hope it's nothing too serious. Dinamo had their chances here and there, but one of the best chances was in the 59th minute when a Dani Olmo shot was saved and pushed onto the crossbar by the Anderlecht goalkeeper. But about 10 minutes later, Dani Olmo was provided to Ame Goyak, who smashed one from outside of the box to give Dinamo a 2-0 advantage. Like, that was a sweet goal. It deflected off the Anderlecht player and went into the back of the net. Anderlecht, to be honest, wasn't really too threatening, so I was watching this game and I wasn't even scared that Dinamo were gonna concede, because You know, Ivan Santini, he was very toothless in this game. The real threat for Dinamo was Zachariah Bakali. This guy is a live wire. But apart from him, the other players were really mediocre on the day. Like, on the strength of these Europa League performances, I don't understand why Ivan Santini is even in the Croatian national team. Maybe they should bring in a guy like Bruno Petkovic, you know? Give him a chance, because Ivan Santini isn't doing anything at all. He's not doing anything great. Now is the time when Croatia are gonna realize how important Mario Mandzukic was. Hajdovic was subbed off in the 76th minute, and on came the youngster Ivan Šunjić, who I think should be in the Croatian national team setup like right now. Get him in there. Get him in there. This player is a gem. And then in the 90th minute, Mislav Orsic, who I also think should be in the Croatian team, was subbed off for Mario Gavranovic. In the dying embers of the game, Kevin Theophil Catherine received a second yellow and was sent off. So both teams were down to 10 men, but it was too late. Nothing came of the resulting free kick, and Dinamo completed a very routine 2-0 victory. I have no complaints about this performance at all. It was a really good defensive display. The midfield was good. The attack was on point again, bagging 2 goals. You know, players like Dani Olmo continues to develop. I really hope he gets a call up to the Croatian national team, because, you know, I doubt he would get called up for Spain. I read something recently that they are trying to get him, you know, to play for Croatia. So hopefully that comes through. Mislav Orsic also looks a really good player. I think he should be in the current national team setup as well. And Ivan Šunjić, this guy has to be in Croatia's team. Bruno Petkovic also deserves a look in for the very impotent Ivan Santini, who isn't really scoring goals for Croatia. No, Anderlecht in the Europa League, it seems. So come on, somebody else needs a try. Well, that's only my opinion. So to all the Ivan Santini fans out there, man, I don't mean anything. The guy isn't scoring any goals. I was actually surprised that Mario Gavranovic didn't start this game. I think he would have been more potent up top than Bruno Petkovic. But you know what? It's a good rotation policy. You know, Gavranovic might start the game versus Rudic on the weekend. So, you know, everything should work out for Nenad Bjelica's team. Dinamo will play Spartak Trnava on the road in their next Europa League fixture on the 25th of October 2018, while Anderlecht will play Fenerbahce in the other Group D fixture. Again, I would love to say congratulations to Dinamo on winning their second Europa League match. It seems like Dinamo are going to top this group easy, and it could possibly be with 6 wins. That would be awesome, though. That would be awesome. Guys, how far do you think that Dinamo will get in the Europa League? I hope they make a run all the way to the semi-finals or even the finals and win the damn thing. That would be awesome, man. That would be freaking awesome. So as I said earlier in the video, I'm going to do a quick recap of the other 23 Europa League results because of time restraint. I don't have the time to actually go through all the 23 matches in depth and actually talk about them and all of that. Last week, it took me way too long and it ate up almost, you know, half a day. So I'm not gonna do that to myself again. So let's go through the other results, and at the end, I'm just gonna let you know how the standings look in each group. Okay, Astana defeated Rennes 2-0. Astana, team from Kazakhstan, Rennes, a French team. Zenit St. Petersburg of Russia defeated Slavia Praha of the Czech Republic 1-0. Anderlecht, of course, lost to Dinamo Zagreb 2-0. While Karabakh of Azerbaijan lost to Arsenal of England. Let me see who scored these goals for Arsenal. Okay, Papastatopoulos Socrates scored a goal. Ruo, this seems like he's a young kid. And Guendouzi scored. That's good. That's good stuff. Arsenal winning their second game in a row. Guys, do you think Arsenal got what it takes to win this season's Europa League? Well, they should. They have Unai Emery, the Europa League king, at their helm. So, Bordeaux lost to Copenhagen. Bordeaux, a team from France. Copenhagen, a team from Denmark. FC Zurich of Switzerland defeated Ludogorets of Bulgaria 1-0, while Voskla of Ukraine lost 2-1 to Sporting of Portugal. Fenerbahce of Turkey defeated Spartak Trnava of Slovakia 2-0 with a brace by Islam Slimani, the man who seems like he's enjoying life playing with the Turkish giant. Bayer Leverkusen of Germany defeated Ayak Larnaca of Cyprus 4-2. That must have been a thriller. Let me see who scored the goals for Bayer. Okay, Kai Havertz, young upcoming German starlet, scored 44th minute goal, but that was actually an equalizer. And then Alario and Julian Brandt scored the other goal. So pretty good stuff by Bayer Leverkusen, and Larnaca could not. They could not take the lead after they give it up in the 44th minute. So, could Bayer Leverkusen win the Europa League? They're one of the contenders, definitely one of the favorites. Real Betis of Spain defeated Dudlong of Luxembourg. I do think Dudlong plays in Luxembourg. I forgot about this team. Let me check real quick. Dudlong, oh my, yes, Luxembourg. I was right with that, you know. I only learned of Dudlong this season, so like, come on, give me a break. All right, then we had AC Milan of Italy defeated Olympiacos of Greece 3-1. Let me take a look at who scored the goals for AC Milan. We had Coccioni scoring a brace and Gonzalo Higuain scoring for his new team. He is on loan there, but it's a very expensive loan. We had Red Bull Salzburg of Austria defeating Celtic of Scotland 3-1. I did tell someone from Scotland that, you know, Celtic isn't going to do too good this season. I do think I did not even predict them to get out the group. I can't remember. We had the boss scoring a brace for Red Bull, and this guy seems like he's always freaking showing up, man. How long could they keep him at the club? I really don't think it's gonna be for a very long time. That guy knows how to score goals. Then we have Rosenborg of Norway losing to RB Leipzig of Germany 3-1. And Rangers, Steven Gerrard's team of Scotland, defeated Rapid Vienna of Austria 3-1. Awesome stuff. I did predict Rangers to make it out this group. I do remember that. And someone laughed at me and said, only because Stevie G is the manager, I'm predicting that. Well, look, the results, man. I think they drew on match they won, so the results are not lying. Numbers never ever lie. Then we had FC Krasnodar of Russia defeating Sevilla 2-1. This is a shock result. This is a shock result. Wow. Freaking wow. Ooh, Sevilla, come on, what are you doing? Then we had Spartak Moscow of Russia. Spartak Moscow or Moskva of Russia drawing 3-3 versus Villarreal of Spain. Wow, that must have been a really good game to watch. Then a game worth talking about, Malmo of Sweden defeating Besiktas of Turkey 2-0, and there was a howler from Loris Karius in that game. Like, what was he thinking? Like, what was he thinking? The ball went over his head. He did something like that. He wasn't able to keep it out the net. And I was like, oh my God. Liverpool must be like, wow, it's a good thing we shipped him off to Turkey, right? And brought in Alisson for a record fee. Like, wow, that is exactly what Karius has cost Liverpool. A Champions League and, you know, almost 80 million pounds. So, people actually criticized me when I made a video, you know, about him last season. But anyways, let's move on. Salzburg of Norway defeating Genk of Belgium 3-1. That's an upset. That's an upset. Then Chelsea defeated Videoton 1-0. Well, Chelsea team from England, Videoton from Hungary. And I heard through a grapevine that Alvaro Morata finally scored. So congrats to Alvaro Morata, man. Congrats, because it's really good for his confidence and his mental state. Then, Eintracht Frankfurt, man. Niko Kovacic, former team, well, Niko Kovac, a Croatian, now in charge of Bayern Munich, defeated Lazio 4-1. Lazio, a team from Italy, Eintracht, a team from Germany, 4-1. There was also a red card for Lazio. Like, freaking wow. Who scored the goals for Eintracht? Well, we had Da Costa scoring a brace, Kostic and Jovic. Okay, so Marco Parolo scored the only goal for Lazio. And then we had, was this 2 red cards? This was actually 2 red cards for, wow. This was 2 red cards for Lazio. They went down to 9 men. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. 2 freaking red cards. I haven't seen that in a while. Joaquin Correa and Basta. Freaking wow. That definitely cost them the game. Then we had Bate Borisov of Belarus losing to PAOK of Greece 4-1. That's an emphatic victory by the Greek team. Like, wow. After losing on match day 1, they have came back hard. They came back really, really hard. Good stuff, good stuff. Then we had Stade Liège of Belgium defeating Akhisar, a team from, Akhisar is from Turkey. Turkey, I think. Akhisar. I think that's a Turkish team. I can't remember. Yes, it's a Turkish team. Stade Liège won the match 2-1. Then the next game, Apollon Limassol of Cyprus drew 2-2 versus Marseille of France. And last but not least, Jablonec of the Czech Republic versus Dinamo Kiev of Ukraine. The match ended in a 2-2 draw. And that completes my match day 2 roundup of the 2018-19 UEFA Europa League. And I think I am very smart to do it this way this time around, because the last time, man, guys, it was torture. I was sitting here, I was sweating. Oh my God. And don't talk about editing the video. It was so hard to edit. I had over an hour of footage and it was just a horror show. So I'm not gonna do it to myself again. But guys, if you get into the end of this video, I really, really appreciate it. And if you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button. Smash the thumbs up button. Let me know your favorite moment from match day 2 of the 2018-19 Europa League. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad! Dinamo! Dinamo!